All right, we're live?
We're live.
Awesome. Welcome to the third episode of the MMA Degenerates. I am the MMA Degenerate, and we have our sound guy, Ryan, here.
Welcome back.
All right, Ryan. So, hope everyone's doing well. Before we begin, please do us a big favor. Punch that like button. Punch that subscribe button. Let's pump those numbers up. We have rookie numbers right now. We got to pump those numbers up.
Come on, let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, so let's start off. We got two major fights, Ryan. Two fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had the Bellator fight, and we had the Fight Night. And I have to say, those were some amazing fights.
It was a really great night.
Yeah, I'd say like 4 or 5 out of 5 for both of them. We had great finishes. We had good battles. Not a lot of submissions, but we had a lot of knockouts.
A lot of knockouts. It was really hard to get all of the fights crunched into 2 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I looked at the UFC time because they have a time thing, and it was only 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And like out of those 2.5 hours, it was like literally an hour of fights. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, but let's start off with Bellator first. It was the bigger fight. It had more implications because we had the featherweight title and the featherweight Grand Prix final, where we started off with 16 fighters and we're down to the last 2.
We're there.
Yeah. So it was McKee versus Patricky, Pitbull. And yeah, that was a great fight. It was a short fight, but it was a good fight.
It was a very short fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, AJ, he did a real good job leg kicking Patricky. Patricky's a stout sort of moving forward, feet planted sort of guy, and the best thing to do for those types of guys is to kick him in the legs.
That's it.
And he did a good thing where he kicked him in the legs, and then Patricky was thinking of the leg kick, and then boom.
Right into the head.
Yep, went up top. Yep, exactly. So he hurt him, he rocked him, he had Patricky up against the fence, he was hitting him with good shots, and then he grabbed that neck.
Hit him with that guillotine.
Yep, and that's one of his specialties is the guillotine. Now, Patricky is no joke on the ground. He is a good black belt in jiu-jitsu. He trains in Brazil. My friend who lived in Brazil, he said you start, training jiu-jitsu when you're 5 or 6, whether you like it or not. He said it's either football or soccer, as we say here, or jiu-jitsu.
Of course.
It's one of those. You're doing one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a great fight. Unfortunately, the co-main event, Mads Burnell versus Emmanuel Sanchez, that was kind of a boring fight. It was more grappling based.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, a lot of people thought Emmanuel Sanchez won because he did hit him with better shots on the feet. However, Mads Burnell did take him down every round, and he really had no answer for it. He didn't get really that hurt, so it really depends on what you like. The judges, maybe one of them was a wrestler, or maybe he was a wrestling coach, or maybe he liked the grappling more. And, I always say this, Dana White says it all the time, don't leave it in the hands of the judges.
Never.
It's easier said than done, but still, it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of a bummer. I think they should have put maybe another fight in that co-main event because you need that co-main event to get people hyped for the next fight. You need to have a good barn burner fight to get them hyped and be like, hell yeah, main event time.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they thought it was going to be good because Emmanuel Sanchez is a good fighter. He's the number 2 guy in the featherweight division at that time, not anymore. But whatever. The rest of the fight was pretty good, or very good actually. We have Usman Nurmagomedov defeated Manny Muro. He, what's his name? Usman is a great, striker. Great kicks, as you saw. And he started using a little bit of his wrestling, which is really good. His cousin is Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is arguably one of the best lightweights of all time, not even just in the UFC, but in MMA in general. And that's a great teacher to have to, learn more skills. And Usman definitely showed he's ready for that next level. He showed that he can mix in his grappling.
If not above that.
Yeah, and definitely. And he caught him in the clinch. He had him up against the fence. He was, weighing on him. He was hitting him with knees, but he wasn't getting that power he needed. So he, grabbed him and shifted him off to the right, and then he, boom, kneed him right in the stomach, right in the breadbasket. And, I don't know if you've ever been hit in the stomach, but it hurts. It's hard to control your body, and
it makes you sick.
Yeah, exactly.
It made me sick watching it.
Yeah, exactly. It made my stomach gurgle.
Yeah.
When you get hit in the body, you can't think of anything else except holding your stomach because you don't know what's going on. Your body's all messed up.
And you don't want to get hit there again.
Yeah, exactly. So, he hit him in the body. He fell down. He just rained down punches and elbows, and that was it.
That was it.
The next fight was a good grappling match. It was Islam Mamedov versus Brent Primus. Now, Brent Primus actually fought and beat Michael Chandler, if I'm not mistaken, who fought the number 6 guy in the world in UFC, and he fought for the title, which he lost in. But still, Brent Primus is a great guy. He's got good leg kicks. He's got decent striking besides that. But he's got great jiu-jitsu, like top-class jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. However, Islam Mamedov is one of these Russians that has amazing wrestling, and he was like, no. That's not going to happen. Brent spent the whole time on his back going for submissions, and he had some really good submissions, but Mamedov was able to get out of them. And that's the debate right there. Like, what do you give more points to? Do you give more points to someone who's on top and controlling the position, moving forward, or do you give points to the guy who is actually controlling the action on the ground? Like, because he was making it so that Mamedov couldn't do anything. All he could do was hold him down and get out of submissions.
Yeah, it was a very neck-to-neck fight either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a Mexican standoff,
Yeah.
Like, they can't do anything. He can't do anything because he's grabbing the submission. So, I mean, Brent Primus has all the right in the world to be mad because he did control a lot of the action. However, like I was saying with the Emmanuel Sanchez-Maz Burnell fight, there was probably a wrestling coach or a former wrestler that was one of the judges, or both of the judges, or all the judges. So maybe they felt that the grappling, the wrestling, holding them down and not getting submitted had more precedence over the submission attempts.
Yeah, exactly.
None of them were in enough to where you could say, oh, he had him and he was twisting his arm around, or he choked him out, or he almost got him out. I didn't see any point in which Mamedov really was in a lot of danger.
Exactly, yeah.
So
he always sort of had his own control.
Yeah, so I could see why they gave it to him, because he had more of the top control. So, it happens. It happens. All right, Goiti Yamauchi, versus Chris Gonzalez.
Yeah, great fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight. My friend, he knows Chris Gonzalez. He's a great wrestler, and he fought Goiti Yamauchi, who is an amazing jiu-jitsu guy. So, I mean, he was kind of scared, I think, of maybe the grappling of Yamauchi. When two great grapplers fight each other, they usually strike, because they're usually so respectful of their grappling that they don't think that they can beat them on the ground.
Exactly.
And he might have been right. He might have been submitted if he took Yamauchi down, especially in those first rounds. I mean, maybe if he got out of the first round, I would have taken him down because they would have been sweaty, and it's harder to get submissions when you're all sweaty and you're not wearing a shirt, so you don't have anything to grab. So maybe, but it didn't get out of that first round.
Yeah, 3 minutes 53 seconds. Yamauchi just waited to him.
Yeah, he brought it to him for sure. He caught him with like crazy good body kicks, very good body kicks, and that made Chris's hands come down a little bit, because his hands were up. He was trying to defend shots, but then as you get kicked in the stomach, you're like, oh no, stop, and like you're trying to grab the kick. That's like a basic human instinct, is to grab that kick to stop them. So he was putting his hands down, and then Yamauchi got him in that corner and just caught him with a good right hand, put him down, and just finished it off from there. Yeah.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, so the prelims were good. Couple honorable mentions. Joshua Jones looked great. Kazan Magomed Shapirov looked insanely good. Kazan is the brother of a UFC fighter called Zabit Magomed Shapirov. So he's got a good teacher there for sure. And Zabit's really good. He's in the top 10, top 15. Georgi Karakanian, he submitted Kiefer Crosby. Georgie was actually in the Grand Prix, but he got eliminated. So I'm sure he was probably on there as like a replacement in case something happened to either of the fighters up top. So, yeah, it was a good card. It was a very good card. I enjoyed it immensely. So, yeah. Let's go to the UFC fight.
Let's go.
All right. So it was Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland. Great fight.
Definitely the longest fight of the night.
Yeah, for sure. 25 minutes with the minutes in between the rounds, it comes out to about 30 minutes, give or take. So it was just a stand-up war. There was next to no grappling except for the one time when Sean Strickland, tried to do a takedown on or a double leg on Uriah Hall. And there was clinching, some small clinching, some small grappling exchanges. But it was 99% striking. And Sean Strickland just walked him down. Uriah Hall's got a big problem with his mental game. He just doesn't believe in himself. He has all the talent in the world. You've seen...
You could hear his coaches believe in him more than he does.
Well, yeah, and they had to be...
The whole thing.
Yeah, they had to be so, in his face about it because they know... When the pressure is on, he kind of folds.
He has a lot of potential.
He does, and the way he looks in general, he looks like a Greek god. He's built like a brick shithouse,
exactly. Yeah.
He has everything except for the mental aspect. He has good technique. He has good cardio. He can go 5 rounds. As you saw, he was getting beaten up for 5 rounds. He looked a little tired, but he didn't look like he was dying. He looked like he was still in there. He just looked like he got punched a lot.
Yeah.
So that, he has everything he needs except for that mental aspect. I don't know if he needs hypnosis or if he needs something. And to be honest, Sean Strickland is one of those fighters. He's not on the tips of his toes. He's not like a world-class boxer that's going to, be on his feet the whole time. He is flat-footed. He moves forward and just throws shots.
That's it.
That's how he does. He's like a Nick and Nate Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. They don't have footwork, but they just come forward and they do not stop. And Sean Strickland's the same way.
Yeah, Uriah Hall definitely didn't know how to defend against that.
Yeah, and I mean, the best way you could have done it was to kick him in the leg. Because when someone's flat-footed like that, when you catch someone with their flat feet and they get kicked in the leg really hard, it hurts a lot. So if he would have gotten him with some leg kicks, possibly... it would have slowed Sean Strickland down. Then Uriah Hall could have hit him with some shots from the outside, some good kicks. Because Uriah Hall has amazing spinning kicks. You like it, you like Taekwondo and all.
Yeah.
He has some amazing spin kicks. He's knocked out dudes with the spinning back kick, the spinning heel kicks. He's got great body shots like that. And if he would have just done more of his kicks, I felt that either one of two things could have happened. One, Sean Strickland just put it to him so badly in that first round that he just kind of forgot about it. Or maybe he had some injuries coming in, like foot injuries.
More or less.
Yeah, because if you don't give your body time to heal and you're kicking a lot, you're going to mess your legs up like Conor McGregor probably did.
Inevitably.
Yeah, inevitably. Indubitably. All right. Yeah. So I mean, it was a clear-cut victory, 50-45. Some people even gave Sean Strickland 10-8 rounds, which I didn't, because he beat him down, but he rocked him. But Uriah Hall was trying to fight back. He was throwing shots here and there. He wasn't just taking shots and being like, oh no. And the biggest thing with Uriah Hall though is that he doesn't have a good poker face. Like when he's standing there and he's all beaten up and he's trying to regain his composure, he looks like he's having a bad time.
Yeah.
Some fighters, they're like, "Ooh, yeah, I don't care, boom." But him, if he's,
it's like come at me, and then when they have the good poker face, and then the other fighter looks at them, they're like, "Oh crap, maybe I should chill out." But then you look at someone who looks like they're about to pass out, then you just keep putting them into that submission. Yeah, no, exactly. Like you're saying, if you see someone who's beaten down, you're gonna go after them even harder. Yeah.
But if they look like they're having a good time, you see them, you're like, dude, what do I have to do to put this guy away? You might lose some faith.
Exactly.
So it's all about it. For example, in the second round, he was standing up in between rounds. Uriah Hall was sitting on his stool, you could tell he was barely there. So it happens, but whatever. All right, Cheyenne Buys versus Gloria DePaula.
Really quick fight.
Yeah, that was a crazy ending, wasn't it?
Oh my god! Yeah, she got her on the ground. She was about to get back up. The ref, they saw that she was down on the ground. The ref was about to call it out, but she got back up really quick, and then all of a sudden, Cheyenne just turned around and finished it. Yeah. Hit
her with that crazy head kick. I think the ref was pointing up. I think the other corner
Yeah.
thought that she was down, but when they showed the replay, like the split second her hand was off the ground, she kicked her. So yeah, the best way to get up so you don't get head kicked is to get up from your knees and then push off, because she got up and she got up like kind of like jumping up and then like pushed off with her hand, and that's easy to kick off of. If you're on your knees and you push up last, then you're on the ground for longer, so they can't head kick you. They can punch you, but they can't head kick you or knee you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's just bad fight IQ. I've never heard of Gloria DePaula. Maybe this is her UFC debut. So, because Cheyenne Buys, she lost her last fight pretty handily. So they're not going to give her a highly ranked opponent. So this girl was probably, Gloria DePaula was probably good in other organizations, and they figured they'd give her a shot. Well, it didn't work out too well. But it was a great fight. Cheyenne did a great job. The one thing she did do that is not good is she kicked her. She thought she was knocked out. She walked away.
Turn around, yeah.
Yeah, you never do that. Ever.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
But she got away with it for this one time.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone brought that up to her after.
Oh, yeah. If I was her coach, I'd be like, you stay down there until the ref pulls you off. Because fighters like that walk away KO. They would knock out there like, yeah.
Of course.
It looks cool. It looks really cool.
It's
but
an ego boost.
Yeah, but what happened if she did that and then Gloria gets up, takes her back, jumps on her back, and chokes her out? I'm sure she would hate herself after that if she did that.
Yeah, especially coming down, fighting someone who probably just came into the UFC, and then letting that happen to you could be a terrible mistake. But thankfully that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. She probably would have gotten cut if she lost again, especially if she was finished.
Yeah.
Definitely. Maybe they would have given her another chance. Maybe since she's on the Contender Series, she has like a 3 or 4 fight contract, so maybe she would have got one more chance. But she would have been like on the gangplank right there. She would have been ready to like jump the plank or walk the plank. I mean,
definitely a good learning experience for both of these women.
Yeah. And Cheyenne Buys, she is a young fighter. She's in her early 20s. She's gonna be doing this for a while. She's a good fighter. She's got heavy hands, heavy kicks, and she's got good grappling. So she's gonna do well. And she's got a personality too. So
definitely, yeah.
So she's gonna do very well. All right. So yeah. And Jared Gooden versus Nicholas Stolze. That was a good one. Another very short one.
Just like a lot of these tonight.
Yeah. And this guy, it's funny, him and Uriah Hall have a similar, body build, because they're both built like brick shithouses. They are. They're like both like Greek gods, just like standing there. I'm like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to this fight, but Jared just has that power. I've seen him fight before. It was a knockout. He's got power. People in this division really need to take notice, because welterweights have power, but he has that one touch. The punch wasn't even that good of a punch.
Yeah, exactly. He looked like he put minimum effort into it.
Yeah, it didn't even look like he hit him that hard, and it wasn't that straight. It was kind of like awkwardly thrown. So like, if someone can knock you out with something like that, then he's powerful.
Gonna go far.
Yeah, he looks like he weighed about 200 something pounds.
Yeah, man.
And he cuts down to 170.
Dude's a rhino.
He might be going to 185 at some point when he gets a little older, because it's harder to lose weight. But at this point, he's gonna do very well in this division.
Extremely,
for sure. And Miocic Bagdasaryan.
Oh yeah,
that was a crazy fight.
That was an insane.
Yeah, that was my favorite fight. That definitely had to be my favorite fight of the night for sure. I saw Miocic on the Contender Series, and he fought a 3-round decision. The first 2 rounds, he went apeshit on this guy. He beat him from pillar to post. And then he just got so tired, like he can barely stand up, and the dude just started taking him down, but he survived.
I'm going to have to watch out my own time. Yeah,
so Dana White said, you know what? Come back in November, fight in the Contender Series again. Let's see how you do. He knocked a dude out in like the first or second round, so Dana White's like, okay, we got you. So yeah, and he fought Colin Anglin. I haven't seen him fight, but he's might have one fight in the UFC. He might have no fights in the UFC, but still... Miocic is definitely someone to look out for in the featherweight division. And at the moment, that division's kind of at a standstill because the champ's like hurt or something, and he lives in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's hard to tell a guy, okay, you got to come to the U.S. and fight. And in New Zealand, they make you quarantine for like a month or something like that. So you have to be away from everyone, just sit in a hotel for like a month. It's hard to, but I'm sure that's not the reason why. I'm sure there's injuries and stuff like that because the Volkanovski, the champ, he's been fighting nonstop for the past like 2 years. I'm sure there's some wear and tear on there that he's like, look, I need to,
chill out.
Yeah, plus the division's kind of muddled up, so there's not much going on there anyway. And the last fight of the main card, the welterweight fight between Jason Witt and Brian Barberena. That was a good fight.
Great fight.
It was a really good fight. Barberena got beat in the first 2 rounds. He got out-grappled. He landed some good shots in there, but definitely Jason Witt got the takedowns. He got the control. He got some ground and pound in. But that last round, Brian knew that he needed a finish. He knew. So he went after him. And that's what I love. I mean, I wish it would have done it a little sooner. But apparently he'd been coming off some injuries, so I'm sure he was a little rusty. I'm sure he was like, he had to get his timing down and all that.
Exactly.
Barberena is a good fighter. I've seen he totally derailed the hype train. I forget the dude's name now. That's how bad he beat him. I forget the guy's name, but there was this guy, and this guy had a body of a Greek god. He was a very handsome dude, like the UFC were like, we want this guy to be the next champ. And then Barberena comes in and just beats his ass, Sage Northcutt, that's what it's called. His name was Sage Northcutt. That's who he beat, yeah. This kid was good. He won 2 fights in a row, knocked the 2 dudes out, and then ran into Ryan Barberena, was never the same, lost 2 or 3 in a row. Now he's in ONE FC in Asia. Tough break. All right, so the prelims were a little boring, in my opinion. The Jin Fry Ashley Yoder fight was a decent brawl. The Karuk Adashev versus Ryan Benoit fight was a decent fight as well. What I didn't like was Zaruk had him. He beat him in the first 2 rounds, and then he just stopped. I don't know if he was tired. I don't know if he just wanted to win, he wanted to get that first UFC win. But Ryan Benoit came at him in that 3rd round and really tried to beat him, but he couldn't. So, yeah. But the Phil Rowe, Orion Kosuke fight was a decent fight. He caught him with like knees in the clinch and just beat him down with punches. It was a good opener, and then it was all decisions after. So I'm like, oh, crap. But the funny thing is, this is how a lot of times these cards will go, whether it be UFC, Bellator, or ONE FC. If the prelims suck, the main card will usually be better. Usually. If the prelims are awesome, there's KOs, everyone are submissions, the main card might suck. So, to be honest, I could go either way. I'm an MMA degenerate. I'll watch it all, but I'm glad the main card was good because that's what more casuals would watch, is the main card.
Exactly.
There weren't a lot of big names, so there weren't a lot of casuals probably watching this fight, but there was probably enough to where maybe Sean Strickland got a little more hype, Melsick got a little more hype and all that. All right, that deals with the breakdown. So we're going to start a new segment. It's called What's Next? So what's next for these fighters? Let's start with Bellator. All right, so AJ McKee. So let's go down to the men's 45 division, the featherweight. Yeah, go down. All right, stop there. All right, so AJ McKee is now the champion. Patricio will probably be number 2. Emmanuel Sanchez went down for sure. And the Mads guy, whatever his name is, he will probably be in the top 5 somewhere. So, I would love for him to fight Aaron Pico. That'd be a dope fight. Aaron Pico is a great fighter. And that would be a good win because that Mads guy, he's a good fighter. It will showcase how well Pico deals with grappling. Because he's a wrestler from, high school, right. But he's also Golden Gloves champion. And he's been doing very well. He's hit a little rough spot, but so Mads is going to go from number 8 to probably number 4, number 3, maybe number 2.
Hopefully.
So go back to the Bellator fight card. All right, so then we had Goiti win, we had Islam win, we had Usman win. All right, go back to the... All right, so let's go to the featherweight. Still staying featherweight. So Goiti's number... Wait, no, go down. It's lightweight, I believe. Yeah. So Goiti will stay at number 5. I want him to fight someone in the top 5. A Sydney Outlaw, maybe. Sydney Outlaw just fought in the last Bellator card. He's number 2. I'd love for Goiti to get a title shot. So that'd be nice. Maybe fight Patricio. I know he just lost, but give Patricio some time because he's a double champ. He's the lightweight and the featherweight champ. So he lost one title. Maybe Patricio wants that rematch with AJ McKee. I'm not sure. I'd like AJ to fight someone else. Go back up to featherweight. All right. Yeah. So maybe Mads might get that shot. To be honest. But I don't know, I'm thinking like they're going to give Patricio a rematch because Patricio is literally like the GOAT in Bellator. He's their greatest fighter. So they're going to give him a shot. Islam Mamedov, he is an unranked fighter. Let's give him another unranked fighter because he wasn't that impressive, to be honest. He just kind of controlled the action a little bit, and that's great, whatever. So give him another unranked fighter. If he beats this other unranked fighter handily, then let's put him in that top 10. Let's see what he can do from there. And, so let's go to the UFC rankings. All right, go to middleweight. It's a little bit down. A little more. Stop right there. All right, a little more down so I can see 15. Yeah, all right. So Uriah Hall's number 8. Strickland was 11. So Strickland's going to go up to number 8. Darren Till hasn't fought in a long time. I would love to see Sean Strickland versus Darren Till. That would be fun. That'd be really fun. Darren Till is a striker. Sean Strickland's a striker. That would be really fun. I'd love to see that. Go to the UFC fight card in the breakdown section. To the left, yeah. All right. Cheyenne Baez, go, and Jared Melsick, Jason. All right, go back to the rankings. These are all unranked fighters, I'm pretty sure. So I think these people that won, and they won pretty handily, maybe one more unranked fighter for each of them. One more ranked for Cheyenne, one more unranked for Melsick, one more unranked for the other ones. And then maybe they start looking into those top 15 guys because in the UFC, they have a bad problem of putting up-and-coming talent against really hard fights. And go to 145.
It's entertaining.
Go up. It's up. It is entertaining, but yeah. So for the 145 division, pretty much if you put Melsick against anyone in that top 15, he's gonna have a very hard fight. Mm-hmm. And I want him to get his confidence up. I want him to get one more in there, and hopefully, hopefully he'll do well. Hopefully he'll get a top 15 dude. All right. That's it for that. Now let's go to the news.
Stipe Miocic looking to leave UFC. Disgruntled former champ responds to O&E's online poll.
All right, let's scroll down to this tweet right here. One Championships. Oh. Yeah, so the guy in there is Shatri Sittyong. He's the head of ONE FC. So go down, yeah. So he asks, "Who should I sign? Nominate yourself or a fighter?" All right, scroll down, and this is his response. Stipe's. He does the So he says, "I shouldn't have to wait for a winner. I have the most heavyweight title defenses of all time. We're 1-1, but DC got instant rematches and trilogies against me." Yeah, see, the problem with this is, first of all, Stipe's under contract. If you fight for the championship, even if you lose, they extend your contract by 2 fights.
Right.
So he's got at least 2 more. That's it right there. They're not going to let him go. Stipe has been fighting. Stipe is the best heavyweight champ they've had because he defended it the most times against good competition. So they're not going to let him go just like that. They're not that nice. So, and another problem is DC got that title rematch because he defended his title. Stipe won it one time. He defended the 4 or 5 times. He lost it. Then he got the rematch because the Brock Lesnar DC fight fell through. So he beat DC. DC retired. And then he fought Francis Ngannou and got his head blown off by Francis for charging him when he shouldn't have. So I think I'm not big on instant rematches if they haven't defended it more than 2 or 3 times. or more than once, or no, less than 2 or 3 times. Sorry. So I feel that he should just fight someone in the top 5. He's one fight away from the title shot. He's like 37, 38. He's not getting any younger. He could probably do this for another 2 or 3 years. So you fight one more guy, and then fight for the title, and then retire.
Exactly.
That's probably what he's thinking of. But he wants to be champ because you make more money as the champ, obviously. He won't get as much money if he fights some top 5 guy.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah. Oh, well, scroll down a little. All right, stop right there. There's some supposedly they threatened to strip him. I can see that because he complains a lot. Stipe, he's a great guy. I've been a fan of his since he got into the UFC. I saw his first fight in the UFC. He beat the brakes off this dude, and I knew he was going to be a champion. But he does complain a lot. He really does. And I'm not saying you shouldn't complain, but in any job, if you complain too much, they get tired of it.
Yeah, exactly. You just build all this resentment.
Yeah, and I understand the UFC is the UFC. They are not the nicest people in the world. They're not going to give you everything you want. But they are the UFC, and they're the most powerful organization in the world.
Absolutely.
They do hold a monopoly, and people can say, no, there's Bellator, there's ONE FC, there's PFL. Think about it. People don't say, I watch MMA. If they're watching any MMA fight in the world, they say, I'm watching UFC.
Exactly.
And that's no knock against them. I watch Bellator, I watch ONE FC, I watch PFL. I watch bare knuckle MMA, which is actually coming up in a month or 2, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely check that one out and break that down. But neither here nor there, they are the major, that's what casuals know. So, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't do it in this way. Negotiate with them. If this right here, this tweet, now he's going to stay on the shelf. They're not going to want to fight him. They're like, oh, look at this crybaby here. They have to offer him a fight within a certain amount of time. They have to offer him 3 fights a year. That doesn't mean he has to fight 3 times a year. That means they could say, yeah, we need you to fight this unranked guy, and that's offering you a fight. So what they're going to do is they're going to wait a while, and they're going to offer him fights he doesn't want.
Exactly.
If he would have negotiated with them, I'm sure he would have either gotten his rematch, because the John Jones thing is not happening anytime soon. Francis doesn't have anyone else to fight after next week's card. So he really needs to get his priorities straight. I'm not him. I don't know his situation. I'm not trying to talk for others. I'm not, saying, go UFC. But that's just the facts. That's just reality. Mm-hmm. All right. I know it's a damper, but let's go on to the next one.
Conor McGregor appears to make classless comments about the death of Khabib's father in deleted tweet. Oh, man.
Yeah. This hasn't been a good couple weeks for Conor McGregor. Scroll down to let's see what he tweeted. All right, so first, Khabib tweeted, good always defeats evil. And then Conor tweeted, 2 weeks later, oh, COVID is good and father is evil? Because his dad died from complications with COVID-19.
How clever.
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on.
He's just, Conor McGregor is the epitome of a sore loser. He's a great fighter. I love him as a fighter, but he has the worst attitude. That's why I don't like him as much as I want to like him. I want to like him a lot.
Yeah, it seems like the whole phenomenon surrounding Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
obviously one of the greatest fighters, but
yeah, he is. Then
he says stuff like this.
Not anymore, in my opinion. But when he was on his run, when he was doing his thing, he was one of the best fighters in the world at the time, for sure. When he was cutting through the featherweight division, then he came and he won the lightweight title. But once he got to lightweight, he started running into some trouble.
After repeatedly making tasteless remarks toward his wife and threatening to kill him and his family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was, I think, a week or 2 ago. But yeah, he pretty much said, he made gun motions, and he talked about how his wife was in his DMs and stuff. And he tried sending a screenshot of it, but there was no writing. When someone DMs you, because it had so-and-so Poirier, whatever her name is, you get a request for for like a chat if you're not friends with a person. But usually when you're requested, it shows the message they want to send you, but it didn't show the message. So that just means that he doctored it to make it look like she was in his DMs.
Right.
But she was probably contacting him because of the charity, because he said he was going to give money to Dustin's charity.
Oh.
And she's in charge of the charity. So she was probably contacting him to say, hey, when's the money coming? Or here's the bank account for the money.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So he was just trying to, stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Image.
Scroll down a little, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, that's just the tweet itself. Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Since been deleted, could imagine.
Yeah, and Khabib, he is the epitome of a mama's boy or a daddy's boy. He stopped fighting because his mom said, I don't want you to fight anymore. And also because his dad died. So he respects his parents a lot. Most of us here, respect our parents enough to not, rob them or hurt them or anything like that. But he, he's lived with them forever. I think he still lives with his mom. He drives a Toyota truck. He's a simple guy.
Yeah.
He's a simple guy. So that really hit him hard. Go down. Yeah, and even Dana White was that's not cool.
Yeah, you can delete that tweet off of the internet.
Yeah, but they always find a way.
Nothing ever really leaves the internet.
So this is Conor. Go down a little. There's a little story within a story here. So this is Conor. Go down to the actual one. Yeah, here. So this is Conor's tweet right after the fight, apparently. Jumping a guillotine is not a takedown. Absorbing a kick into the leg is not a check. A doctor stoppage is not a TKO, which it actually is. It is a TKO because the doctor doesn't stop it. What happens is the doctor tells the ref, you should stop this. And then the ref says, yeah, okay, I'm going to stop it. Because the ref always listens to the doctor. And the game goes on, bitches. Piss ants to me, use all are. Not even peasants, piss ants. Now get your stationed vlogger cameras. You novice bitches. I guess he's talking to me. No, but yeah, so I mean
it's really fun reading his tweets and his accent in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that.
We hate him, but we love him.
Yeah, I mean, I respect his abilities. I respect what he's done. I respect the fact that he's made so much money that he doesn't need to do this anymore, and he probably shouldn't. But he's tweeting all this stuff so he can get another fight. Right. That's what he's doing. And then he said, oh, now that I have a titanium rod in my leg kicks are going to be crazy. But then they're like, but that's not how it works.
That does not.
It actually hurts a lot more. Yeah. Even when you're fully healed, you kick it, you're going to feel it. So he's probably not going to be kicking a lot with that leg that he broke. Yeah. So, whatever. Let's go on to the next one. Hopefully it's a little more... Not as, yeah. Oh, this is a good one. This is more uplifting. Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler added to UFC 268.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Nice. All right. The contracts haven't been signed yet, but apparently it's been agreed upon. So they're probably just negotiating money now. So, right. Whatever. All right, scroll down a little. Scroll down. Okay, stop there. Yeah, this is going to be a good fight card. UFC 268, we're going to have Kamaru Usman fighting Colby Covington. We're going to have this fight. We're going to have other fights. 268 is shaping up to be amazing. And I heard, because they canceled the Amanda Nunes fight for next week, which we're going to go over when we look at next week, I heard they're moving that to 268. So there's going to be 2 title fights, and there's going to be an awesome number 1 contender fight. So it's going to be a fun fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, that's nice. All right, go to the next one.
Leon Edwards ready to fight Jorge Masvidal before end of year. Stop with the excuses.
All right. Scroll down to the tweets. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there is good. All right, so this was Jorge. I remember he tweeted I'm ready to go, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And then this was his response to, I'll be ready in November, stop with the excuses, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, so stop right there.
A little back and forth.
Yeah, there's a little back and forth, but he was very dismissive of the idea. Jorge's in that Dana White privilege area. He is big, especially for the Hispanic community, especially for the Cuban community. So he's really big in that aspect. And I'm sure since, Florida is one of the few states probably that's not going to lock down due to this COVID-19 variant or whatever. Because DeSantis said, yeah, forget about it. We're not doing that. We're not doing that crap. So they're probably looking at doing a major show in the University of Miami Stadium. And that place is huge. And they probably want Jorge to at least co-headline it. Yeah. And that will be a perfect fight to co-headline sometime in December or November. That would be a perfect fight. He's just saying it because he's being, blah, blah, blah. But let's look at the UFC rankings in the What's Next segment. Yeah, the UFC one. Go to welterweight. Let's see where they are around each other.
Right here.
Yeah, stop right there. So Leon is number 3, and Jorge is number 7. I mean, I don't know why Jorge wouldn't want to fight him. Because if you beat Leon Edwards, you fight for the title. It's as easy as that. I think what he's doing is he's waiting. He's waiting for the Usman fight because he's hoping one of them gets hurt. That's what he's hoping. And he said, I'm only fighting for the title or big money fights. That's what he said. Title or big money. That's it.
That's it.
And he's not going to get big money with Leon Edwards, but oh well. In my opinion, this is the best thing for him to do. But he can do it once. Go back to the article. Is the second to last one? Yeah, that one. Yeah, so I mean, this article is pretty much saying what I'm saying, that no fighter will give him a better opportunity to get to the title than Leon Edwards. So there's nothing else he can do. He can maybe fight Nate Diaz in a rematch, but he beat the brakes off Nate Diaz, so I don't see why he would do that. But, it'll be a fun fight. And also,
more fun, yeah.
Also, there's a story behind this fight, too. That's what makes it so good. That's why I want this fight to happen. So they were both fighting in an event back in the day, and Leon talks some shit to him, says, I forget what he said. So Jorge comes up to him with his hands behind his back and then just hits him with 3 shots really fast. Jorge's got fast hands, really fast hands, for being almost 200 pounds. And he hit him 3 times, and he made the famous quote. He hit him with that 2-piece and a soda. So there was and he hit him before anyone could even get near him. Nothing else happened. He hit him with the 3 shots, and then Leon got all pissed and yelled and stuff, and they broke him up. So that has a story behind it. You could bring up the hype, and maybe it could even it could definitely headline a fight night.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be a great headliner.
That'd be awesome.
That would be a great headliner for sure. And it'll get Jorge back in the swing of going 5 rounds, because you're not putting out Leon Edwards in 2 or 3 rounds. Maybe in the 4th or 5th round, but you're not putting him out. And Leon could be a problem for him, because Leon can go 5 rounds like it's nothing. So we'll see. I hope it happens. All right, go to the last one.
Gilbert Burns calls out Nate Diaz for UFC 268. Offers a lucrative side bet.
See, that'd be dope, man. 268. If all these fights come to fruition, imagine if you had the fight card with... You had the headliners, which would be Amanda Nunes, Kamaru Usman. Those are the headliner, co-headliners. You have Nate Diaz versus Gilbert Burns, 2 great jiu-jitsu guys that have fallen in love with their hands. You might have Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards as a precursor to the co-main event. That'll be an amazing fight card if this all comes. Oh, we forgot Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje too. Come on, geez, if everything falls into place, 268 might be the best fight card ever. Scroll down. Let's see. Scroll down a little more to the tweet that he made. Yeah, stop right there. All right, so hey guys, when I was fighting, Nate Diaz was running his mouth. He's probably talking about his last fight with Leon Edwards. And now I'm free, and he is free, and he's running away. Nate Diaz, let's fight at MSG for 5 rounds. Ooh, he wants to do 5 rounds too. Loser has to pay the winner an extra $200K. Mm-hmm. There's Naterio RJ, which is probably Rio de Janeiro probably. And Stockton, California versus Stockton, California. Don't be scared, homie. Nice. And that's just his tweet still. Okay, so go down. To be honest, Nate Diaz probably wouldn't take this fight. It's not a big money fight. He's going to get paid a good amount, but he's not going to get paid a lot. I'm not holding my breath for it. But he might fight, like Conor would be a fight he would want to fight because he wants that big money.
Yeah, this fight wouldn't make that much sense.
Yeah, it really wouldn't because, first of all, Gilbert Burns is in the top, 5, I think. Go back to the rankings, the UFC rankings. We're still in welterweight, so we're good. Yeah, he's number 2. And Nate Diaz isn't even in the top 15. Go back to the article. So, yeah, he's doing it for money because Nate Diaz brings fans. And it'll make him a bigger name. Because if he beats Nate Diaz, who else, he would steal, what's his name? Leon Edwards' title shot if Leon Edwards wins again. Because Leon Edwards has the worst luck in history. The worst luck ever. He's been passed up for a title shot so many times. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it for news, right?
Oh, yeah, it looks like about it.
All right, so go to next week's fights. Oh, no, yeah, this is next week's fight. Sorry. All right, scroll down. All right, so we got, stop right there. We got Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane. That's going to be a fun fight. Mm-hmm. Cyril Gane can go those 5 rounds. Derek Lewis definitely cannot. But he's called the Black Beast for a reason. He's been losing a fight for 5 rounds, and he's knocked a dude out in the last 10, 20 seconds. So you always have to be careful with him.
Yeah, he's a freight train.
Yeah. Cyril Gane is super technical. He's really good, and he has great striking. His grappling's coming along. He's just a little young in the game. He's only 9-0. So Derek Lewis has been there. He's done everything you can do.
Yeah.
Except for fight for a title. That's the only thing, and this is the interim heavyweight title actually because Ngannou doesn't want to fight until September, which I don't know why they're making it. They should have just made this the main event, but it's a pay-per-view, so they have to give it a title name.
Of course.
So, because people will be mad if they pay $70 and there's no title fight.
Yeah.
They should have made this a free card on ESPN Plus, but I'm not the brass. This isn't going to get a lot of buys. It's going to get 300, 400,000 buys at the most. At the most. All right, go down. All right, Jose Aldo. Now, the co-main event was supposed to be Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena.
Why'd that one get canceled?
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, the girl from Florida, Amanda Nunes, got COVID because Florida's Florida.
Florida.
We love our freedom. But, she got COVID. And I'm sure she feels fine because she's a fighter. She takes her vitamins. She works out all the time. I'm sure she's probably just got a little sick. But the fight's a week away. Basic quarantine is at least 14 days. So she wouldn't be able to make the fight, unfortunately. So, wait, go, stay back on it. So, Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz, though, this is going to be a fun fight. Jose Aldo is known among those casuals. He was the 145 king for a while. So, this does bring some star power. Pedro Munoz is a wrecking ball. He comes forward, feet planted, and just punches and kicks. And Jose Aldo does the same thing. It's going to be a fun fight.
That's going to be great.
It is. It's going to be a fun fight. And go down, Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque. Another fun fight. Even though we lost the co-main event, and the main event is a fake title in my opinion, this is going to be an amazing card, I feel. Because there are some really good fighters. Vicente Luque, he is so well-rounded and so good. He's got amazingly good strike accuracy, over 50%. So does actually Michael Chiesa. Those are really good numbers, to be honest. Michael Chiesa is a great wrestler. We're going to see how Vicente deals with that wrestling. Hopefully he'll be able to get him, but I have to give it to Michael Chiesa. He's going to use his wrestling. He's going to take him down. He's going to beat him up and possibly choke him out. All right, go down to Tisha Torres fight. All right. So, yeah, Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. Tisha is more of a ground person, while Angela Hill, she's more of a mixed person, but she mixes everything up. So it's going to be a fun fight. They're both good fighters. I'm not big into women's MMA. I know Amanda Nunes and some others, but I'm not super big into it.
Yeah.
Cheyenne Baez definitely made me a fan with that last fight, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Always fun to watch.
But I'm not huge into it. I'm not a big fan of Angela Hill. She's kind of weird. When she was on The Ultimate Fighter, she would just randomly fart. She's like, farting's natural. It's like, yes, it's natural, but people don't want to smell your fart.
At least it's on the other side.
I
of the
love
screen,
farting.
right?
Farting is great, but I don't run to people. And like, she would literally like be sitting on the couch and just pull her legs up and fart at people. I mean, she's one of those.
I get farting at your opponent in like a disrespectful way. That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Yes.
But I get it's a little weird quirk.
She's a little weird, but it's okay. I'm sure it'll be a good fight.
It'll be a good fight.
Yeah, go down. Oh yeah. Song Yadong. I call him the Dong. Whenever I see him fight, it's even money at -10, -110. Yeah, and versus Casey Kenny. Unfortunately, Kenny is more known for the fact that he called a UFC women's fighter like hot or something, like too hot to be good or something like that. Yeah, he said some stuff that wasn't too nice. But whatever. He's a decent fighter, wrestling based, decent striking with some good kicks. Song Yadong, he's got powerful hands, he's got good wrestling. This will be pretty fun. Go down. Ooh, Bobby Green versus Rafael Fiziev. I remember we went over this. Yeah. This is going to be a fun fight. Yeah, and Fiziev is the favorite, which is awesome. A big favorite, actually. Fiziev has great stand-up. He's not the flashiest guy in the world. He's not going to do like a million flying, spinning tornado kicks, but he's got great striking. He's got good fundamentals, and he's very hard to take down. He'll kick your leg until it breaks. He'll punch you till your nose breaks. He'll punch you till your face breaks. He keeps on coming, and he's very hard to put away. So that's going to be fun. All right, go down. You got Vince Morales versus Draco Rodriguez. The only thing I know about Draco is I saw him get knocked the heck out. So I don't know much about this fight. Hopefully it'll be good. Go down to Alonzo Menfield versus Ed Herman. That's going to be a good fight. Ed Herman's a grizzled veteran. I just don't see Ed Herman beating Alonzo Menfield. Alonzo is just built like a brick shithouse. He's got amazing striking. And he's going to just beat the brakes off Ed Herman. And Ed Herman has a suspect chin. And Alonzo hits very hard. Go down. All right, Karlina Kalkiewicz and Jessica Penne. I've seen both these ladies fight. They're decent fighters. And they're going to do well. And I don't know anyone on the prelims. Just go down and we'll look at them real quick. I don't know anyone on the early prelims. But those usually have the best fights. All right, so
we'll go over those ones when we have a chance.
Yeah. That's the news. That's the fights. That's everything for next week. So before we end, please again punch that subscribe button, punch that like button, spread the word, help us out a little bit. And if you have any fan questions, put them in the comments. And if we get enough of them, if we get at least 2 or 3 of them, then, I'll answer them. They can be anything concerning mixed martial arts or combat sports. I do it all. All right, have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. And we're done.